Welcome to Outlaw Librarians, Jailbreaking the Modern Library, a Peoria Public Library podcast, where we bend and break the rules of the old-fashioned library. Listen while we talk about how librarians are breaking the stereotype of boring, stuffy libraries. Welcome to Outlaw Librarians Podcast. Today we're doing our 8th podcast, and we're here with Cindy. Today's podcast is The Library is Bringing Your Brain into Play. Welcome, Cindy. First of all, start us off with your Peoria Public Library history. How long have you worked here? What exactly is your job? What do you do?
Hi, everyone. I work in reference. I've been here for almost 7 years. It will be 7 years in September. I started out doing mostly e-reader help for patrons, as well as the service points in reference, and then eventually segued over to doing programs for people with dementia.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit more about these programs for the elderly, the dementia patients. What is their purpose, and why did you target this audience?
Well, I'm going to bore everybody with our mission. Since the Peoria Public Library will provide all residents books, other printed materials, new technologies and programs that stimulate personal intellectual growth and development and provide a satisfying experience that nurtures a love of reading and the joy of discovery. People with Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia still have the capacity to learn, to read for some of them, and certainly to feel and enjoy. And it is amazing how many people have this disorder. Right now in Peoria, 15% of our population is 65 years of age and older. Also, right now, there are an estimated 5.5 million people in the United States with Alzheimer's disease. That's as of this year. And by 2050, it's estimated that there will be 15 million with this disease. So this is a significant portion of our population. And as a library, we want to make sure we're serving everyone. The programs that I bring to these people include a narrative about a subject such as armchair travel, or, for example, we just did the solar system and talked about the eclipse. I also like to incorporate Peoria's local history into some of the programs to try and stimulate some memories from them. This all started with a lady named Mary Beth Reiner, who is a retired librarian from the Gail Borden Public Library in Elgin. Her husband had Lewy body's disease, and she noticed that he was still able to read during the latter stages of his disease. So she created a program called Tales and Travel Memories and started presenting it when he had to move to a memory care facility. And she found that the people enjoyed the programs a great deal. So she is my inspiration. I've read about her in an article in the American Library Association magazine. And from there, it was just coming up with my own programs using some of hers, which are available, and offering it to the Peoria population. The way that I contacted people was to create a flyer, and then I mailed it to local area memory care facilities, and I now go to 10 different memory care residential facilities with the programs per month.
Those are staggering numbers, and I'm so glad you started this program. It sounds amazing. So you go to various nursing homes, independent care living. Is that kind of where you head? Like,
yes.
How do you said you mailed out flyers. Did word of mouth then pass from place to place?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I got 3 more places just from word of mouth. We also sponsored a booth at the Life Boomers and Seniors event that took place at the Civic Center last October. And so we started the conversation with the population there and hope that the word of mouth would spread that we have these to offer.
Great. How many places do you visit now? Do you have a rough estimate of how many?
I go to 10 places per month, serving approximately 100 patrons.
How amazing. How do you come up with each new idea? I know you said you get some from the woman who started them up at Gail Borden, but how do you come up with ideas? Like the plant one, was that just because of the eclipse and it made you think?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Because it's on everyone's mind, and because at the facilities they have the TV on constantly. So this is something that I figured would be fresh in their minds. And in fact, it was. And a couple of facilities had even mentioned that they either got eclipse glasses or that they were making their own pinhole projectors.
How neat.
Yeah, so the response is really good. What I love about it is you get the unexpected. I try to make programs that either will stimulate local history memories or also go along with the seasons because it is easier for them to relate to. I want something that is very entertaining and also something that might go along with what's currently going on in the news. For example, last summer I did a program on Brazil right before the Olympics, and so we had a game. The programs consist, again, of a narrative about the subject, and then literature. I'll read poetry or a short story or folk tale, and then we either do an activity or a game.
Fine. That sounds like something I'd like to do. How much feedback, positive-wise, have you gotten from the actual patrons, the patients that you go to? Do you see a lot of them remembering you or remembering this sort of activity? Have you seen sort of a
Absolutely.
response?
I'm the library lady.
Awesome. We love being library ladies.
Yes. In truth, I think that while I try to bring some joy into their lives, I get a great deal of joy out of it in return. Sometimes I think I get more out of it than they do, but I hope that's not the case.
I'm sure it's not, but it's great that it goes both ways, the love and enjoyment. All right, lastly, my last question. What's on your nightstand? What are you reading right now?
I love cozy mysteries, and I'm reading Once Upon a Spine by Kate Carlisle, and it's part of a series called The Bibliophile Mysteries. And it's about a woman who is a bookbinder. She binds rare old books, and she somehow manages to stumble upon dead bodies.
That sounds very intriguing and right up my alley, so I'll have to look into it. All right, Cindy, thank you for joining us today for the 8th podcast of Outlaw Librarians. The library is bringing your brain into play. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for listening to us here on Outlaw Librarians, Jailbreaking the Modern Library, a Peoria Public Library podcast. We strive to break the rules and laws of the old silent libraries and make them fun and exciting again. We hope you enjoyed listening and learning about the new noisy rules of libraries. You're a daisy! The Show Must Be Go by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. Website http://creativecommons.org/licenses/by/3.0/